Hello, everybody. Welcome to the session. Today, we're going to be talking about all the things that women cannot, should not, are not allowed to do. It kind of like goes into that area of double standards. There probably is going to be a separate session just on double standards for women and men, but it's kind of like already going into that area where a lot of women are holding themselves back because they believe they're not allowed, it's not permissible, it's bad. All those programmings that we received in our childhood where we see some man just going ahead and doing the things, but we are holding ourselves back. And a lot of it is just the conditioning. It's already in our system. It's the way we think, the way we believe. So that's something that we want to get rid of. And today I'm going to be doing a combination of what I was doing before, like clearing, but also I want to build in more of the releasing statements into the sessions. And we began doing that a few weeks ago. So when I do the releasing statements, what you can do is repeat this with me. I'll give you a few seconds time to do that. And mute yourself, but say it out loud. It's really much more powerful when you actually are saying it out loud, just making me do it and you thinking it. It's not the same as if you really, really say it out loud, because that's where the clearing is going to go much deeper and it's going to be much more powerful. Okay? So let's begin. As always, I have prepared some slides. You may lie down, make yourself as comfortable as you need to be for the session, and let's get started. So as always, put your awareness at the center of your heart. There's nothing you need to do. There is nowhere you need to go. Just allow yourself to be fully present in the here and the now. Put your awareness somewhere 300 feet above your crown. Tap into the love and light 300 feet above your crown. Allow this love and light to begin coming down on your crown, on your forehead, on your ajna, on your throat, heart, solar plexus. Allow this energy to go all the way down to the center of Mother Earth. Tap into the love and light at the center of Mother Earth. Allow this love and light to begin coming up through your feet, through your body, coming into your heart, building a sphere of love and light. At the center of your heart, the sphere of love and light is beginning to expand, is becoming as big as your house, as big as your town, as big as this planet. Now put your awareness at the center of Mother Earth. Imagine there is an elevator. You're stepping inside. The doors are closing. This elevator is beginning to rise through your feet, through your body, your crown, going higher and higher. May some of you with karma abuse to take our consciousness, our awareness all the way to the 7th plane of consciousness, create a full at this consciousness level, where everything is known about us. Say, I release the belief that women are inferior to men. I release the belief that there are rules that only apply to women. I release the belief that if I, as a woman, break those rules, bad things would happen to me. I release the belief that I will be destroyed if I break those rules. I release the belief that I am not allowed to be myself, who I truly am, when I'm having a physical experience. I release the belief that women must hide their true abilities and their true nature out of fear that man would destroy them, that man would destroy me. I release the belief that I must hide my abilities and skills and my intelligence from man, I release the belief that a woman cannot be smarter than the man. I release the belief that it is safer for me to be weak, to pretend to be weak, to pretend to be less smart than I truly am. I release the belief that in the physical plane, it is too dangerous for me to unfold my true intelligence. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to pretend that I cannot do something, so the man gets to do it for me. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to allow man or others in general to forbid me to do something. I release the belief that it is for my own protection. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to say I cannot, I should not, I must not, I'm not able to do something when I knew it was a lie. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to limit my abilities. I release the belief that I require someone else's permission to truly show up in life, embracing all of my abilities and capabilities. I release the belief that man have been given power over me by God. I release the belief that God is a man. That's a strong belief. I release the belief that God wants me to be submissive to man. I release the belief that if I truly show who I am, men are gonna be offended or angered by it. I release the belief that men will like me more if I depend on them. That's another big belief. Where are we faking to be less capable than we truly are? Because we want to be safe, protected by man, or want them to do things for us. I release the belief that the only way for a man to like me is if I pretend to be weaker, less capable than him. I release the belief that it makes me more desirable to men. As they say, the weaker sex. I release the belief that female sex is the weaker sex. I release all the programming from my childhood that I, as a girl, cannot do, am not able or capable to do, what boys could do. I release the belief that I am physically not as strong as boys. I release the belief and all the programmings that boys are somehow better than girls. I release the belief and the programming that my parents would have preferred I was a boy. I release the belief but being of a female gender somehow let my parents down. I release the belief that I am a disappointment to my parents because I'm a girl. I release the belief that being of a female gender is my fault. I am to blame for it. I release the belief that I must always give in and let boys dominate me. I release the belief that girls are less valuable than boys. I release the belief that girls are less useful than boys. I release the belief that girls are a liability to the family. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to allow my family to use me. It's kind of like, again, double standards, saying that boys are more useful, but then at the end of the day, it's always the girls that are expected to take care of the aging family members, parents, do things for them, serve. I release the belief that I was born to serve my family. I release the belief that I was born to serve man in my family. I release the belief that I must do what man tell me to do. I release the belief that men have decision power over me. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to say I can't before I really thought about it, whether I really can or cannot do something. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to mimic and replicate my mother and her relationship with men in the family. I release the belief. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to believe that I must live my life the way my mother did. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to judge my mother and her relationship with man and repeat her mistakes. I release feeling limited in my expression by other men. I release the belief that man cannot tolerate strong women. I release the belief that men are threatened by strong women. So I must hide my strength. I release the belief that my strength is a liability. That's a big one. Where have you judged your own strength? Where do you think it's something bad? I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to judge my own strength. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to give away my power, to feel ashamed of my power. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to suppress my own power, to disassociate from my own power. I release the belief that being powerful is not something useful to a woman, that it only creates problems. I release the belief that if I truly step into my power, I will be alone. I release the belief that there is no man that could ever tolerate my power. I release the belief that a man must always be more powerful than a woman. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to not care whether I am powerful or not. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to give up before I even tried. I release all the programmings and the beliefs that a man must always be the one saving the woman. I release all the generational programming that women must limit their sexuality, must not express fully their sexuality. I release all the boxes and labels and judgments that have been put on women for living out their sexuality. I release the belief that only men are allowed to live out their sexualities fully. I release the belief, I release the generational programming that a woman mustn't speak her mind. I release all the generational programming that a woman cannot have an opinion and voice that opinion. I release the generational programming that a woman cannot have any possessions, that everything she has belongs to a man. I release the generational programming that a woman cannot belong to herself. I release all the generational programming that a woman is a man's property and must do what others tell her to do. I release the belief that I as a woman cannot be free. I'm not allowed to be free. Not able to be free. I release the generational programming that a woman cannot take care of herself by herself. I release the belief that a woman cannot be independent from a man. I release the belief that a woman cannot handle her own money. I release the belief that a woman is not smart enough to handle her own money. I release the belief that a woman is not capable of surviving without a man, without anybody ruling over her. I release the belief that a woman requires a ruler, an owner, I release the belief that a woman must tame, must suppress her desires, her wishes, her dreams. I release the belief that this physical plane is unsafe for a woman. Unsafe to be who you truly are in a female body. I release the belief that I am the body, that I am my gender. I release the belief that I was punished with a female body. I release the belief that the female body is holding me back, is preventing me from unfolding my full capabilities. I release the belief that in a female body, I will never achieve my full potential. I release the belief that being in a female body is a hindrance to my goals and aspirations. I release the belief that I will never achieve success in a female body. I release the belief that a woman cannot earn more than a man. I release all the generational programmings that a woman must earn less than a man. I release the belief that a woman must always give in when it comes to a man. I release the belief that a man should always get the better end of the deal. I release all the heartache from all the times when I couldn't, when I wasn't allowed to do what I wanted because I was a woman. I release all the grief from all the times where my life, my happiness, my well-being as a woman depended on a man who abused his power. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to allow others to break my will. I release all the shock and trauma from all the times when my will was broken through physical, mental, emotional abuse by others, especially by men. There is a lot of that energy. Where has there been so much abuse happening against women that women just have given up? I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to give up. There is a lot of heartache around that, where women have been beaten into submissiveness and they have given up. Where have you given up? I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to not stand my ground when it comes to men. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to always lose to a man. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to allow a man to do whatever he wants with me. Because there is no point in fighting. I release the belief that a woman cannot rule, cannot be in powerful positions. I release the belief that if a woman gets to a powerful position, she didn't really work hard for it. I release the belief that the only way for a woman to get to a powerful position is to sleep her way up. There are a lot of women in power these days, but we still believe that somehow they must have done something to get where they are. And sleeping their way up is often the first thought we have. I release the belief that a woman can only succeed if a man helps her. I release the belief that a woman can never succeed without a man's help. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to allow other men to be in charge of my life. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to allow others to judge me because of what I do or say as a woman. I release the belief that women cannot say the same things that men can say. I release the belief that a woman cannot exhibit the same behaviors as men. I release all the shock and trauma from all the emotional, mental, physical abuse that I ever experienced as a woman because I was a woman. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to believe others about what they say about what I can or cannot do. I release the belief that others have the right to tell me what I can or cannot do. I release the belief that others can forbid me from doing something that I want to do. And I must listen to them. I release the belief that men stand higher than women in the eyes of God. I release the belief that men are closer to God. I release the belief that men can do whatever they want with me and other women. I release all the fears around what men can do to me if I don't do what they say. I release all the fear of being destroyed by men. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to completely give up any will to fight for my right, to fight for my rights. Fight for my freedom to do what I want to do. I release the belief that others have the right to punish me if I don't do what they tell me to do. I release the belief that physical abuse against women is justified. I release the belief that men are justified to be physically, emotionally, mentally abusive to women. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to believe what others say, even if it goes against what all of my beliefs. I release the belief that being weak is my protection, my safety. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to tell other women what they cannot, must not, should not do. And some of you with karma abuse to scan the entire universe for all the beings you have programmed in any way by telling them what they're not allowed to do. And some of you with karma abuse to neutralize all that energy of not allowing others to fully express themselves. It's a cycle. Whatever has been done to us, we often do it to others just the same way, for the same exact reasons. So we also must watch what we say, what we do, our own behaviors. Where are we treating girls and boys differently? Times gazillion, times gazillion, times gazillion. I release the belief that a woman's duties are at home, in the kitchen, in the house, raising the kids. I release the belief that this is a woman's job. That's the only thing she is capable of doing, smart enough to do. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to believe that women must be kept chained, dumb, incapable, so they always need a man. I release the belief that the only reason for men to be in our lives is to do the things we cannot do. It's artificial. It's not real. We shouldn't be needing anybody, and men also shouldn't be needing anybody. You want to be with someone because you enjoy time with that person, not because you need them, because there is something you convinced yourself you cannot do. But they can. Unless it's some physical labor, heavy stuff. Everything else, a woman is just as capable of doing. But many women don't choose to do it, which is fine. You can choose not to do it, but don't say, I cannot do it. I'm not able to do it. You can. You just don't like doing it. Then say you don't like doing it. Don't say I can't. And some of you with karma abuse just scan the entire universe for all the beings that have programmed you in any way, told you you're not allowed. Everywhere you're still waiting on permissions. May some of you with karma abuse just scan the entire universe for anyone's permissions that you're waiting. May some of you with karma abuse to give you energetically all the permissions. Permission to speak, permission to be who you are, permission to live your life the way you want it, permission to be you. May some of you with karma abuse to neutralize all the decisions and choices you've ever made to pretend that you are a woman. The soul doesn't have a gender. Why are we so hung up on the gender? It's just a role we play. This life, this gender, next life, another gender. And now things are changing. In countries like in Scandinavia, they're already giving children a genderless education, not focusing any particular gender, not pushing any particular gender into any particular behavior. And that's going to be more and more in the future. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to believe that I am my body. I am my gender. I release all the decisions and choices I have ever made to live out my religious, societal, family programming around my gender. I release all the religious programming. that a woman was created to serve men. I release all the religious programming that a woman is a slave to men. I release all the religious programming that the only reason a woman exists is to serve the man. I release all the religious programming that a woman must do what the man says, that a man gets to decide the faith of a woman. I release all the wedding vows that made me the property of a man. I release all the wedding vows that program me to be inferior, submissive to men. Everything that we have released today may it all be sent back to the universe to be transmuted into love and light. Put your awareness at the center of Mother Earth. Ground yourself 5 feet down, 5 feet out. Be fully present in the here and the now, in your body. And whenever you're ready, you may open your eyes. So next week, we're going to continue. And the topic for next week is generational and family programming of women into submissiveness. I touched on it a little bit, but I'm going to dive deeper into this whole wedding vows and all that, that really program a woman to be submissive. And in some countries, it's even cute, this whole submissiveness in Japan, for instance, in Asian cultures and so on. That's something that we want to look at. If you have time, join, same link, same time. And those of you who would like to join tomorrow, we have a topic, and it's going to be on the money topic is on financial peace of mind, clearing old age money worries. So those of you who are worried about what's going to happen to you when you retire, when you reach a certain age, are you financially well off? All those fears, that's what we're going to be working on. And tomorrow we are going to be healing your business energetically. So if you have a business, because business is nothing but an energy, and it's your energetic baby. That's why when you're feeling great, you are in a good mood, suddenly clients are coming in, money is dropping on your bank account. But when you're feeling low, no clients. So we're going to be actually diving deep. I will meditate on it still and see what exactly techniques I'm going to be using, but we're going to be working on the energy of your business. And you might want to have that replay, might want to get that replay so that you can keep on playing it on your business in the background so that there are no stale energies in your business. So I'm excited about the session. If you have time, join us tomorrow, same time as well. Okay, thank you so much for being here. I hope this was a good session. I hope you had a few insights. I definitely had some. And yeah, see you tomorrow or next week. Bye-bye.